Today on What It's Like, 1948 Chevy Fleetmaster Sports Coupe with rare option. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like. We feature the lost and forgotten classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, and cars that tend to get lost in the shuffle. If that sounds like a channel that you would totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. Question: are you borderline depressed because it's cold outside? It's the opposite of summer. Every time you look out your window, you see what most call snow, but you call it frozen. What if I told you there was a place in Morgantown, Pennsylvania called Classic Auto Mall where every day is an indoor classic car show day, where not only the cars are on display, but most of the cars are for sale as well, just like this 1948 Chevy Fleetmaster Sports Coupe. For more information, pricing, and pictures, click the link below after the show. 1948 Chevy was offered in 3 series. Fleet line, which came in Sportmaster, and the Aero sedan, which is a fan favorite of mine. The Fleetmaster, which came in 5 body styles, which we will get back to because our featured car is the Fleetmaster. And Chevy also offered the Stylemaster, which came in Sport Sedan, Town Sedan, Club Coupe, Business Coupe. Chevy offered the Fleetmaster in the US from 1946 to 1948, 46, 47, 48, built on the GM A-body platform along such cars as the Chevy Stylemaster, Oldsmobile Series 60, Pontiac Torpedo. The Fleetmaster could be had as a 4-door sedan, 2-door town sedan, 2-door cabriolet, 4-door wagon, 2-door club coupe, which would also go by the name as sports coupe. Standard features on the sports coupe were sliding quarter windows, full width rear seat, which was located in the rear compartment. I'm just reading what's written. Where else could the rear seat possibly be unless they're referring to a rumble seat, which could also be in the back. 2 assist straps, coat hooks, ash receivers, parcel shelf. Options. Let's start with the big one, the wood-paneled sides. So apparently this was a dealership add-on which cost $149.50, and that's equivalent to you spending $1,848.65 in the year 2023. The package option was called the Country Club option, and it could be had only on a few different cars. The Fleetline series offered it on the Aero sedan, Fleetmaster offered it on the convertible and sports coupe. Other options included, but not limited to, deluxe in-dash heater and defrost, deluxe push-button radio, directional signals, so this one did offer turn signals, external visor, oil bath, air cleaner, radio. If you bought the radio, you had to buy the radio antenna extra, which I think is hilarious. Spotlight, windshield washer. 1948 Chevy Fleetmaster competed with the Ford Deluxe, Plymouth Special Deluxe, Nash 600. Let's talk specs. 197.8 inches long, 73.4 inches wide, 66.1 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 116 inches. Shipping weight is 3,050 pounds. Price is $1,402, which is equivalent to you spending $17,336.52 in the year 2023. Total 1948 Chevy production was 696,449 units, of which total sports coupes were 58,786 units. Moving on to engines. Only one engine on offer, 216.5 cubic inch displacement, overhead valve, inline 6, 3.5 liters. It's good for 90 brake horsepower, 3,300 RPM, 174 foot-pounds of torque at 1,500 RPM, bore of 3.5 inches, stroke of 3.8 inches, compression of 6.5 to 1, 4 main bearings when mated to a 3-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60 could be had in 21.7 seconds. Hey, that's still faster than a Volkswagen Beetle. It'll do the quarter mile in 22.2 seconds, which is still faster than a Volkswagen Beetle and possibly a Yugo. Gets the average fuel economy rating of 12.5 miles to the gallon. So important side note about this engine uses splash lubrication. So a lot of times you'll see a 235 inside the engine compartment instead of a 216 because the 235 was the first inline overhead valve engine offered by Chevy that used a pressurized oil system. So I just wanted to fill you guys in on that. Let's talk styling. Just notice how this is designed. There's lots of bright work up in the front as far as the grille goes. These are accessories, like running lights. It's also got marker lights over here. I just love the way that these look. It's very sculpted in the sense that it's got this big bulge up on top here, but the fenders sit way down here. Just look at the design of these fenders. I love the way that it tapers back into the body. Just look at these lines, how it comes to a peak right here, right in front of the cowl. The cowl hood vent is shaped very nicely. Check out the windshield wipers. They got like little stands. I love the fact that the seam is peaked. Look at how these mirrors are designed. This is real wood, as well as this. Look at this bright work down here, how it comes back into the body. Also notice how this comes down, it curves in before it curves back out again. It's got fender gravel guards. Small fender bulge, not that big of one, and then it comes back to the back. Look at the exposed hinges and the rear light situation. License plate light is part of the handle assembly, and while we're back here we might as well just get back in here. This is my favorite era because you don't really need, you can lock the back here, but you don't have to keep it locked all the time so you can get in them. Look at that trunk. That trunk is absolutely massive. I also love the fact that when you get the trunk lid to a certain spot, this catch grabs and it stays up, so you don't have to hold it because it is pretty heavy. Full size bias ply spare in the back. Trunk is absolutely massive. Gas filler is on the passenger side. Just coming back around here, just look at how this all fits together. I always loved these. Chevy always did this on 40s, early 50s cars, trucks. Drip rail. And notice it doesn't just stop right here, it comes the whole way down. I love the way that this roof is kind of just seams into the body. I love the bright work around the roof line. Getting inside, before we do, just notice all of the textures that are happening on this door handle. Quick, I want to show you how this door operates. Look at how that folds inside the other part of the fender. I always thought that that was super cool. And when you shut it, it's in line with everything. So the door is all framed out. There's my fingers for reference. It's pretty deep. It's got a nice gasket seal that goes the whole way around it. What's funny is that it's got real wood on the outside here, but this doesn't look like real wood. Could be. I don't think that it is. Nice cloth material, door panels, door handle as well as armrest, door handle to get out. This is the window crank for the big window, and that's how it operates, and this is what it looks like. This got crank operated vent windows. You have to unlock it first by moving this pin over, and then they operate like that, and that is a big vent window. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, hand brake, high beam switch, clutch, brake, gas pedal. Just check out this interior. Nice quality shut. Here's what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. Here's what the steering wheel situation is. Here's what the crotch situation is. There's lots of space underneath the steering wheel. I wear size 34 pants. Like I've mentioned before, if you're 36, 38, you'll fit underneath this steering wheel fine. On to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left-hand side and moving right. Gas gauge. Just below it is the horn button, which has been relocated to the dashboard region. Headlights right next to the horn button. Water temperature right above that. Amp meter. Oil pressure. Just above the speedometer is for the windshield wipers. Speedometer with odometer just below the needle. Key. Hand throttle. Ashtray at the top of the dash. Clock. Lighter. And choke. Up above, sun visors, and they're pretty big, and they're nice plushy material. It's about the same material as the seats are made out of, same material as the headliner and door panels, I should say. Nice rear view mirror, as well as another passenger side sun visor. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. This is a massive camera. This is the camera that we use for all of the cinematic shots of like the dashboard and instrument cluster and glove box in question. And this is why I show this, because this glove box doesn't look huge at all. It's absolutely massive. Look at that, no problem at all. That huge camera fits in that glove box. Just check out how that seat's designed. That's what the back looks like. Sitting in the back, here's what the front view looks like from the back. Just take a look at the greenhouse situation. It's got real wide rear pillars back here. That is what the rear visibility looks like from the back seat. It's got a nice shelf behind the back seat. The back seat is very upright. Like, look how upright that is. And the back seat cushion dips way down in here, so consequently bringing your knees up pretty high. And there isn't really a whole lot of space. There's enough space to put my fingers in between my knee and the seat back, but it's very upright. Dome light there, coat hook, handle to hold on to on both sides, armrest, and that's what your arm would look like resting on it. Ashtray. Notice the fake wood around the windows. Right, so getting underneath the hood, this is the hood release. So I pulled that, popped the hood, go out here. And there's a secondary catch right here. The hood is pretty heavy. Look at the inline 6 there, overhead valve. Check out the springs. So the springs actually help a lot when lifting this hood. This is still a 6-volt system. Oil filter, oil bath air cleaner. On to the pros and cons. We're getting all of these pros and cons from the complete book of collectible cars, Blue Chip Auto Investment, 70 years from 1930 to 2000 by Richard M. Langworth and the auto editors of Consumer Guide. On the positive side, relatively plentiful, wide availability of body and mechanical parts, strong club support, and interest. Against it, commonplace by any yardstick, slower to appreciate than the 1941 to 42 models. All right, now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to give me both the correct name of the band as well as song title, first person to do so, both correctly, will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. So if I catch you on YouTube or Facebook, just know I appreciate everything, all of the support, everything. And until next time, but wait a second, let's do some scenes for our next episode. 1968 Mercury Comet. That's what's next on What It's Like. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, toodaloo! Little Deuce Coupe, you don't know what I got. Little Deuce Coupe, you don't know what I got. Little Deuce Coupe, you don't know what I got. She's my Little Deuce Coupe, you don't know what I got. It still doesn't sound good as coupe, and actually, coupe sounds a lot like toupee.